Hey, this is Em from Unique Phoenix, and welcome to Worthy Wednesday because you are worthy of living an amazing life and you're worthy of great love, both giving and most definitely receiving. I've been talking about a really challenging topic this week, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it's something that either propels us forward or freezes us in place. And it's a feeling that we have, and it's one that we want to ignore and not really give any time or focus to, but it is our most powerful emotion and rules so many of our daily choices. And that's shame. Now, shame can propel amazing change in your life because the purpose of shame is really for you to understand how you're feeling about your choices, if you feel good about them, and it's up to you, how you feel about your choices. Do you feel good about the choices that you're making? And if you don't, I guarantee you're going to be in that negative space of it not feeling great, stopping, not knowing which way to go, and perhaps not being able to be clear about what it is that you want. Now, the other thing, and that's internal shame. So we've got our own internal story going on all the time, right? Then think about it. We body shame ourselves all the time. We health shame ourselves. And some of this can be really good and propel you forward into great change. I know myself, I definitely had a body shame story for years and years and years. And even when I was exercising and doing stuff, I was still talking smack to myself about my body, because regardless of the physical changes that I made, I hadn't actually had a look at what the emotions were sitting there, what the story was around it. And when I finally took a look at it and changed what was going on in this brain of mine, one, the conversations around me changed, but most importantly, the conversation within me changed. So here's what happens from there. I've definitely been body shamed since, and you can be shamed in many different ways, like, oh, you're so skinny, or oh, it's so easy for you, or you could wear anything, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I know, because I've been through it myself, that that comes from a place within, that there's a shame story going on about how they feel about their body. So I don't feel shamed by that anymore. I used to, most definitely, even when I was, at a super fit stage, and because I've gone in and out of that throughout my life. And what's important to me now is body health, and I do my own thing around that. What's best and right for me, and what's best and right for you will be different. But if you have a body shame story within you that you haven't looked at, and someone body shames you, what happens? You are like, bam, you're on that, yeah? Fired up and ready to go. So externally shaming someone only fuels the shame that's going on within, yeah? And another one for me was mask shaming. I'm not able to wear one, and having constantly to justify myself and defend an indefendable like, really, because I did feel bad. I wanted to do the right thing, I guess, and I've had to deal with that shame story over time. And now I can't be like it. Just, I know that it's nothing to do with me when people confront me about it, ask me about it, and I understand the story that sits underneath it. So I've learned over time and many years that my body shame story happened a long, long time ago now, many, many moons ago, well before I even started coaching. And dealing with it, and not being so fueled by it when I was body shamed, that I now understand shaming other people only fuels what's going on within them, because you can't shame someone or fuel it if they don't have the story within them. And The other thing is that not only does it fuel their story, but if you are shaming other people about their life choices, I would question how many ignored shame stories are going on within you. It doesn't have to be about the topic that you're telling them off about, questioning their choices, trying to make them feel bad for their choices. Because there is a difference between saying, help me understand your choice, and your choice is shit. Complete difference. So if you are in a place where you are shaming people's choices, I would ask you, and I would do this with clients, what's the stories going on within you that you feel the need to put that on to others? Because what comes out of the hole in our face is going on up here and going on in here. So what comes out of here is within you. It doesn't help others when we do it. It possibly fuels and ignites and maybe makes this shame story truer than it was before if they haven't dealt with it. So how do we stop it? Well, the only way I have come across, and in all my reading over the years, is to deal with your own stuff. Yeah? Deal with your internal shame first, your stories. Understand why you have them and get rid of them. They might still be there over time depending on what it's attached to, and that may take you a little bit of time. But the more that we're shaming others, we're creating more judgment. Yeah, we're fueling their shame stories possibly, or alienating and disconnecting people. We also alienate and disconnect ourselves when we do it also. And right now, we need more connection, more understanding, more tolerance than ever before. Because just as I can't understand all the choices that you've made because they're yours, and I don't know your whole story, I don't know what's gone into the reasoning behind it, nor can you understand others in that same way. So whilst we're asking everyone to justify their choices, I would ask you, are you questioning your own? Do you feel good about your choices? And what are choices that you're ignoring and not looking at by doing that, by externalizing it? See? It's incredibly tough. It's a really tough topic because it means that you've got to take a really good look within you. I want you to know this comes from a place of love. There is no way that I'm judging. It's something that I work with clients all the time. This is our most powerful emotion and impacts so many parts of our lives. We can either shut it down and choose not to feel it, or feel it externally and keep giving it to everybody else. And there's lots of little balances in between that we can go between also. But what we need right now is more understanding, more love, more asking questions, more tolerance than ever before. It's not really being asked of us. We're being asked to do the opposite. So I want to spread, let's have more understanding and less judgment. Let's have more tolerance for people's choices through that. And let's offer people a loving space to share, to not feel like they have to justify everything that they're doing. Because in turn, you won't have to justify everything you're doing as well. Only to yourself. And then it's a beautiful place. Let shame internally drive you for positive change, because it can. Now, if you want help with this, then please, let's set up a soul conversation where you and I can meet and have a look at how I can support you. It's really important to have a look at these shame stories. They create huge impacts in your life and will continue for the rest of your life. Let's take them out from under the rug, have a look at them, and move on from them. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful time with me, your precious time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And please remember, be yourself, because there's only one, and we need you. You are important. And two, feel good for being it because you're the only person that can.